All right, let's take a look at this. These are the people whose pets, their squirrel and Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon were killed. Let's watch this.
We just learned that they have euthanized Peanut.
And the raccoon as well.
And the raccoon as well. I am so sorry. This must be really difficult for you.
It not only tears my family apart, but Peanut was the cornerstone of our nonprofit animal rescue. And 10 to 12 DEC officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I was sat there like a criminal. After they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status, then proceeded to ask me if I had cameras in my house, then proceeded to go through every cabinet, nook, and cranny of my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
They got a search warrant?
They got a search warrant. 4 departments and a judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And then they took them and killed them.
Why did they go through all that to get a search warrant for an animal that had been with you very safely, and the world witnessed this for 7 years? Why now suddenly did they show up with a search warrant and take these animals?
We haven't a clue. We don't know who made the complaints. Again, Peanut was an indoor squirrel, not harming anybody. He's been with us for 7 years. Not a single complaint was ever filed for this animal. We had him for 7.5 years. He became the world's most famous squirrel. We weren't hiding him by any means. He was all over TikTok. He became the first squirrel on TikTok to ever hit 1 million followers. He did every news station around the world. He's helped people. He's helped kids gather joy. And then we started a nonprofit animal rescue called Peanut's Freedom Farm to help animals like Peanut fight a good fight when they're in a neglected case or they're sitting in a slaughter auction. And he was the cornerstone of our life and our organization. We used his platform to help raise money for the 300 animals we have at our sanctuary.
Got to understand, this is the ideal progressive world, right? This is the ideal progressive world where the government is in every little bit of your business. They didn't have a pet grizzly in the backyard. They had an indoor squirrel and they had a raccoon, right? This is very symbolic of what they want. Very symbolic. And just the kind of, not one person in that chain there that he describes, that chain of authority, right, said, exercise the slightest bit of common sense and said, hold on a second, what? It's a squirrel and a raccoon, what? Not one person in that chain there, that chain of decision-making, of authority, just said, hold on a second, let's just be reasonable. Nobody did. This is the future that they want for you. This is the woke left, this is the progressive, this is the far left future, but it's everything. And none of it will make any sense, and it won't matter to them, right? You know how the media right now doesn't care about the truth? They only care about narrative, about manipulating. It's like that, right? It's like that. Everything woke,
everything woke turns to shit.
Yes, it does. And nothing will matter other than the exercise of power. Because they worship it, right? They worship it. It's disturbing as hell. This isn't just about a squirrel and a raccoon dying. This is about much more. I wonder if this will actually sway any voters on Election Day. I know it's not Kamala personally gave the order, but it's New York, Kathy Hochul, Deep Blue. Makes me wonder.
We have a very disappointing and sad update now on the saga of Peanut the squirrel.
You might have heard this little guy's been making headlines this week, and New York State officials now tell us the pet squirrel has been put down. Authorities seized Peanut from a home in Pine City, New York. It's a little south of Elmira. Apparently, there have been multiple complaints. Peanut's owner says the squirrel's mother was hit by a car, and he'd been taking care of the animal ever since. The owner runs an animal sanctuary and says he knows it's illegal to own a wild animal without a license, and says he was working to get Peanut certified as an educational animal. A raccoon taken during the same raid also put down. The State Department of Environmental Conservation says all this is done to test for rabies. All right, that's what Albany's focusing on.
And
just normal people watch this and they get pissed off. They're like, gee, really? Really? This is what the government's doing. This is what they think they're there for. Regular people see this sort of thing. It's something anybody can relate to, right? You may not have a pet squirrel, but you have a lot of people have a pet, and they don't want the government coming in, government agents coming in and executing their animals and treating them like criminals. What's this? I bet he's thinking about another woman. Peanut's only crime was loving his country. There's a million of these. A million. I love this. Justice for Peanut and Fred. Who would have the heart to do that? Vote Trump, save the squirrels. This is a great one here. Love it very much. From Gays for Trump, let me get this straight. The most pressing problem in New York was Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. Courts will issue a search warrant to enter home and kill people's legal pets, but we cannot deport illegal alien criminals. Doesn't make any sense, but this is progressivism. This is equity and all of DEI and all of that. This is modern leftism. Squirrel lives matter. It's true. There's Trump. I'm certain this is real. Sure, the statement from Trump wasn't, but I'm certain this is real. It has to be. I mean, I just, this is going to enrage people. There are going to be some people that were on the fence who are going to change their mind after seeing this. They're going to be like, no, not having that. There's Harambe and the squirrel in heaven. Let's see. What is this? You sleeping. This is a brain trying to. Peanut the squirrel was investigated more than any single Epstein client. True. Rosie says squirrel lives matter. Elon Musk says government overreach kidnapped an orphan squirrel and executed him. Catherine Boyle says this is going to decide the election, isn't it? Yeah. Orphan squirrel who became social media star was euthanized after being seized from home by Democrats. Again, did Kamala give the order? I don't know, but I wouldn't doubt it. Government overreach kidnapped an orphan squirrel and executed him. Yes, this never should have happened. Like, this is bigger than just this story, right? This speaks to the dangers of authoritarianism, of government overreach, government getting too big, government getting too into your business, government worried about too much about what's happening in your house. Let's see. Government, illegal migrants, pet squirrels. Government, yeah, very concerned about it. Elon Musk says the government should leave people and their animals alone. I could not agree more. Why do they need to be involved? I mean, look, I get it if it's like a grizzly. If you've got a grizzly in your backyard, okay, that's a danger. A squirrel isn't a danger. A house squirrel isn't a danger. Lives in your house. It's an indoor squirrel. That's not a danger. At that point, just common sense needs to prevail. No, we don't need to do this. It's fine. It's a famous squirrel. You can see it on the internet. Hundreds of thousands of people love the squirrel. Maybe we shouldn't go and execute it. Peanut the squirrel. I have information that could lead to the arrest and imprisonment of Hillary Clinton. Maybe. Elon Musk, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Obi Peanut Kenobi. Aw. I want the squirrels to get their revenge. Uh-oh, John Wick now. Good thing that wasn't John Wick's squirrel. So there you have it. The government, if you give it enough power, it will come and murder your pets. Also a lot more. I mean, again, like we do have like history, history, to look at, like history books, and you can learn about it. You can find out like everything you need to know. All of history is on your phone. We are overwhelmed with examples of what happens when government gets too much power, when government becomes a little too interested in you and can do something about it. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.